How's it hanging, everybody? So, crazy stuff happening. I am on the way to the wonderful place, excuse me, the wonderful place called the Ohel. This is the resting place of the Lubavitcher Rebbe. I have not been there in a very long time, and yeah, listen, it's I don't know if it's still, I think it's Rosh Chodesh still Adar Aleph, and it's a very auspicious day to daven, to pray at the grave of a tzaddik. So I'm going to go do that. And I'll tell you guys something, it's what I've been talking about before, where already we can see that the Geulah, not just for the Jewish people, not only for the Jewish people, but for humanity, is at least a small Geulah. I don't mean the ultimate Geulah. Well, hopefully it will be the ultimate, but I'm talking about just what I would call the local Geulah is on its way. We can see that there's a few countries that already basically declared this Shmovid thing to be a non-thing. And obviously we know that the narrative essentially is falling apart. Their whole thing is falling apart. And now what's going to start, my friends, what's going to begin is there is going to be a reckoning. Right now, people are going to start waking up to, they're going to start looking for the heads who are going to roll, who were responsible for all of this, guys. And today I had an interesting interaction. I actually made open contact via social media. I think I mentioned him yesterday. He's a gentleman by the name of Dr. Andrew Huff. He's not a medical doctor, he's a PhD. Dr. Andrew Huff. Who is Andrew Huff? He is, or he was, the vice president of Eco Health Shmuleyans. He reported directly to Peter Schmajak. I'm not going to say his name properly because I don't want to get, removed or banned. He was working under Peter Schmajak, and he eventually left. And what has he been doing recently? The past maybe month or 2 weeks, he has been posting very, very quietly, might I add, very quietly, to not a lot of fanfare. He's been posting files of interesting things. You know, one of the files he posted the entire 146-page proposal that was sent by the Shmen IH, Shmiko Health Shmuleyans, via the Shmen IH. It was a proposal, a request for funding for $3.3 million across 5 years, across a 5-year span. And it was actually sent to this thing called IARPA, IARPA, Intelligence Advanced Research Project something Administration, something like that. I'm just giving you off the cuff my interpretation of this, acronym. They're actually related to DARPA, right? Which we heard in the news. So this proposal was sent to IARPA in 2013. What was in the proposal? The front page, my friends. What were the names on the front page? Obviously, this Peter Schmajak guy, a few of his scientists, and the person they call the Bat Woman, the Bat Lady from Shmuchan, and a few other scientists from different places around Shmaina, namely Shmandang, namely Shkwandang, namely there's a few others, other places, right? And so yeah, so that that's one of the files. Another file was like, there's a few files. There's like PowerPoint presentations. There's one paper that this guy wrote, a research thing, a whole PDF about shmonal antibodies that this guy wrote. This is in 2013, guys, against these bat viruses, schmiruses, right? My friends, this is 2013 that this happened. Okay? And so the question begs the question, why was this sent to an intelligence agency, guys? Why was this sent to an agency that's part of what's called Office of the Director of National Intelligence, which work also with the Shmi IA, guys? Why was any of this sent to the Shmi IA? I find that to be very, very interesting, my friends. And so what happened? I took this PDF, I took the important parts, the parts that have been spoken about by Shmand Paul, Rand Schmoll, right? When he accuses Dr. Mousy in front of America, and Dr. Mousy deflects and denies. I took this and I turned it into JPEGs and I posted it. And now we have a conversation, and now he shared it, and now people are retweeting it and talking about it. My friends, I don't know what's going to come of it. You know, maybe we'll get somebody's attention. Maybe we'll get the attention of this guy that everybody's upset about, Shmish formation. Maybe we'll get his attention. Maybe we'll get a couple people's attention. I don't know. But the point is, guys, it's not really about me. The point is that now there is a conversation. There are multiple conversations, parallel conversations happening. My friend Brian Walsingham is saying that I'm positive, but I think that an economic distraction is coming. I don't know if it's a distraction. I think it's like they know something's coming and they want to distract from that. But yeah, it could be some kind of controlled something might be coming. We don't know. We'll see, I guess. Maybe. I mentioned yesterday a gentleman by the name of Cliff High, and he has a wonderful machine that he has built for an AI, basically, AI predictor. And he was saying in the beginning of January that in 2 weeks there's going to be like a flare-up. There's going to be like one of these flare-ups and societal flare-ups. So now we see the past week or so these truckers, right? There's also going to be truckers in America. There's also going to be truckers in Israel. A flare-up, right? But he's like, these things are going to be short-lived. He goes, what's really going to start happening at the end of in weeks, you know, and this is something that this Andrew Huff guy mentioned as well, sometime around the end of February, my friends, we're going to look forward to basically people realizing what they took, what it is that they put into their bodies, that they basically, essentially, were poisoned. Yes, I said the word poison. People were poisoned. They injected poison into themselves. And they're going to realize that on some degree, right? Different people are going to realize it to a different extent. And he said that there's going to be a lot of anger, denial, depression, just general kind of, you know, people are going to lose it. They're going to lose it. And then they're going to search for answers. And he said, they're not going to be looking for right wing. It's not going to be like right wing versus or left wing attacking right wing. Who are they going to look for? They're going to look for the elite. They're going to look for the people, the very people who told them that everything is okay. The very people who they actually believed in. You know, the very people when they say trust the science, these are the people that they're trusting, the elites. And then when I mean elite, I'm not just talking about Santa Claus, Cotton Swab, or Shmurla, or Mousy, or Schmates. I'm talking about the people who are the doctors and the scientists and all these kind of people, my friends. They're going to be looking for them in every corner, around every corner, behind every building, behind every, I don't know, canopy and door. They're going to be searching for those people, guys. And they're going to want to hold these people responsible. And my friends, there's going to be social, I don't want to say unrest. This is what he said. It's not going to be necessarily unrest. There's going to be some kind of mass search for the culprits, my friends. And listen, again, guys, to quote Al Pacino, in Glengarry Glen Ross when he was speaking to Kevin Spacey. All that we can do is come up to our friends who poisoned themselves, and say, I have something that might help you to catch him. Or he said, I have something that might help you to catch him. We have something that might help them to catch them. Okay? We have stuff, guys. And we're going to help our fellow man when he wakes up finally from his stupor, okay? Maybe after the Stupor Bowl in a couple of weeks, after the giant, big distraction, weapon of mass distraction called the Stupor Bowl, with its wonderful commercials of Doritos and Pepsi and whatever else, right? And Apple computers or Apple something. And after that, after we wake up from our stupor and our hangover from the Stupor Bowl, my friends, we are then going to, okay, have the reckoning. And they know it's coming. And then, my friends, when we get to Adar Bet is when the fun begins. Adar Bet, my friends, is when the fun begins. And honestly, guys, I would not want to be all these guys on Purim. Come Purim, and when we get to Nisan, the month after Adar Bet, I wouldn't want to be these guys. There's going to be a Purim kind of spectacle. Then we're going to have, the 2 weeks after Purim, in the second half of Adar Bet, we're going to have a spectacle. My friends, you know that Stalin died, I think it was the day after Purim. Basically, my parents, every Purim, celebrate the fact that Stalin died. Why? Because Stalin had a plan to send the Jews away to camps, the Russian Jews, in 1953, or 52, 53, and he croaked, and the plan was scratched. And it's funny, not funny, but it's interesting that a lot of people recall saying that they remember they were like train cars near their towns somewhere outside of Moscow. And they say, they'll tell you, if you talk to them, they'll say the day after, or about a week or two after Stalin croaked, those train cars that were prepared by the military were removed from their towns. It went away. Okay? So yeah, guys, we're going to see that. And then we're going to see that for 2 weeks in March. And then in Nisan, in the lead up to Pesach, we're going to see something, my friends. Oh my goodness, you don't even want to. Yeah. But guys, I have a weird feeling that before that, maybe in a couple of weeks, we're going to see a big shift. Not only a shift, but we're going to see a reconstituting of the principles of what the West was actually built on, specifically America, what it was built on. And you guys will be saying, Tzvi, like, you're the guy who's been talking about how Israel's supposed to lead the world and all this kind of stuff and all these things. Yes, they are. We are. Israel's supposed to lead the world. We are. And it all begins and ends with Israel. You know, the minute Israel stops this whole program of insanity, my friends, they just announced that they're canceling most of the Tav Yarok stuff as of this Sunday. You know, all the Green Pass. So basically, we're basically winding it down. And my friends, the minute Israel winds it down is the minute the rest of the world will. But, my friends, as I always said, whatever Israel does with this stuff, with giving whomever this stuff, wait another 2 months, 3 months, you're going to see it elsewhere. Someone else is going to try it with even more gevura than Israel ever could. My friends, I don't know if you noticed, what was it, 2 months ago, or in the summer, Israel tried the whole thing with trying to give children 5 to 11. I'm sorry, it was during the beginning of the school year, October, November. And now here we are in February, and now America is going to try infants, my friends. America is going to go down the path of infanticide. Child sacrifice, Moloch. This is, my friends, this is even worse than what Israel was trying to do. And in Baruch Hashem, it was a monumental failure in Israel, and hopefully, my friends, people will wake up to this fact. They're going to see that the government is coming for their kids. There's absolutely no reason. There's literally not even a scientific
medical reason to give this stuff to little babies, my friends. There is no reason. There's no reason. I don't care who you are. I don't care what degree you have. You want to argue with me? You're a PhD. You're an MD. You develop this, and you're this, and you're that, and you think you're highfalutin this and that and the other. There is literally, I don't have a degree on my wall, but I can tell you with my common sense, there is literally not a reason that can be given to give this to little babies. Zero. Ever. My friends, that only leads us to believe that they are doing something else. They're trying to draw power from dark power, from literally the Sitra Achra, by way of this, my friends. They are giving this, they are sacrificing children to a very, very dark force, my friends. These people, whoever is doing this. And we know who they are. My friend is writing, I never got the stuff. 3 people I know that died are in the hospital. They had all their schmoosters, tried to tell them. Seems to me it's already happening. People are flopping. Flopping as in flipping around and realizing what's going on. It's evil. Yeah, guys, it's coming. It's coming, guys. It's the same, and this, again, Andrew Huff said this. He's like, when the people wake up from the stupor, it will be akin to what you guys see. If you guys want to go on YouTube and look at scenes, they've colorized this. You know, History Channel and there's other organizations that they've taken this footage from post-World War II Germany, guys, and they've colorized it, and they show the people, you know, these are people who are coming out of their trance, their, you know, Hitler-induced trance, and their stupor, and they're finally realizing, what the heck did we do? And my friends, this is stuff, this trauma from people who came out of a trance. This trauma lasts. It happens intergenerationally. These are people, guys. If you go to Germany today, there are a lot of people who still have guilt over what their grandparents and their great grandparents did. This is generational, genetic, spiritual trauma it spans generations, guys. And this is what's going to happen with these people, unfortunately. You know, even if they didn't give anything to their kids are going to have this trauma, and they're probably their kids' kids. We don't know. We don't know. My friends, we're about to see something that is going to be just like monumental. Monumental, very, very public, very, very, it will be violent. I would say like self-immolating for these people. It's gonna be not pretty, guys. And the only thing to do, you know, as this guy Cliff High said, you know, the only thing to really do is just stand back. Stand back, let them go through it. Let them go through, you know, what is it? Elizabeth Kubler-Ross said, the 5 stages of grief. You know, denial, depression, something like, I forget how it goes. Anyway. And the last thing is acceptance, obviously. Depression, grief, something like that. And then acceptance, right? I forget what there's a 5th one. I forget how it goes. They're going to go through all of it, guys. They're going to go through all of it. Right now, they're in the primarily denial stage. They're in the denial stage, guys. Then they're going to go into the flailing their hands and whatever it is stage. They're going to go, my friends, I'm telling you, I've seen this up close and personal from friends of mine who refuse to accept what I'm telling them. And they come up with all kinds of acrobatics and all kinds of reasons for why this and why that, and, you know, what it could be, and it can't be this, and it's impossible, you know, it can never be, you know, it's not always the case that it's this, and it has to be that. We don't know what it is, it's inconclusive, unfounded claims, you know, whatever it is, this, you know, misinformation. My friends, there's going to be a moment when all of this, these excuses and these deflections and these, you know, as I always tell people, you're not convincing me, you're convincing yourself. And my friends, we know what happens when people convince themselves of something that isn't true, when people lie to themselves. It's never pretty, guys. You know, we all lie to ourselves about little things, right? Or about, you know, maybe I should be doing this, maybe I should be doing that. We lie to ourselves, in our heads we lie to ourselves every day about little things. But guys, it's quite another it's another thing to lie to yourself about a really, really big thing like this, because what happens is the downfall. The downfall is not pretty. It's not pretty for those looking on. It's not pretty, kind of externally, and it's not pretty internally, guys. It's even uglier internally, my friends. And I really hope, guys. With that said, I really, really hope that Hashem is going to let us down easy, really, easier than, because listen, the guy who made this whole AI-based prognostication, he also mentioned that I don't even want to say how many people over the next 2 years or 3 years are just going to Has v'Shalom, 2022, 2023, 2024, and that's going to be the kind of the end of it, of the whatever not so fun thing that he's describing, guys. But in that time frame, we're going to see a lot of lawsuits. A lot of people are gonna right now you see it with there's insurance companies, guys, that have to pay out life insurance, and they're having trouble. Right? There's a lot of claims, and these companies are losing money. They're going to lose a lot of money. And when these companies are the harbinger of the whole thing, when they come, to Wall Street and say we're reporting this and that and the other, my friends, and then Wall Street reacts, right? Wall Street reacts to these insurance companies. They react to the earnings reports. They react to the pharma companies, the shmarma companies, guys. This is going to cascade into Wall Street and then into Main Street financially, and it's going to happen sooner than later, guys. It's going to happen sooner than later. Economic distraction. It could be. There could be an economic distraction. But God, what they're going to offer people, or offer the world, nobody's going to accept. This is what that Cliff High guy said. No one's going to accept it. They offered us the great Shmi said, we didn't accept it. They offered us this, we didn't accept it. They're going to offer another thing. And desperation, guys. These people, you have to understand. This. You're watching the Sitra Achra dying. And as it's dying, it's doing everything possible, and it's doing a lot of stupid things, and it's just doing whatever it can. It's scratching and clawing. It's calling, anybody who says the truth is misinformation. They cancel people. They attack people. They can't actually attack the content. They attack people, personally, right? They don't actually attack what is being said. They attack the person who's saying it, right? You notice that they're never attacking content ever. I never actually saw them attack what was said, or actually answer to what was said. And when they do, they say, it's like that dog Zog guy, whatever his name is. He goes, yeah, you only listen to Dr. Shmalon because he looks like a friendly Kenny Rogers to you. That's the only reason people listen to him. No, Dick Putz. I was trying not to curse there. Okay, they listen to him because he knows stuff. Okay, he was involved with developing certain things. Okay, that's why they listen to him and not to you, you government mouthpiece. Okay, my friends, it's coming to them. They know it's coming to them, and that's it. And that's it. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. And my friends, I really hope it happens sooner than later. And listen, I don't know. That's just my intuition telling me. We have what to look forward to. Let's put it that way. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe the end of this month. In the words of Rabbi Kessin, we'll see what happens. All right, guys. I'll talk to you soon.